Welcome. What you are about to hear is a short summary of the Complete Grimoire of Hecate, a full guide covering her history, mythology, symbols, sacred animals, plants, rituals, offerings, and devotional practice. This recording covers the essential points from each chapter. The complete content with full detail, practical instructions, prayers, and rituals is available in the complete ebook. Chapter 1, Origins and History. Hecate is one of the oldest and most complex deities in the Western tradition. Her origins likely trace back to Caria in what is now southwestern Turkey, before entering the Greek world. She is not an Olympian. She is a Titan, daughter of Perses and Asteria. The poet Hesiod, writing around 700 BCE, describes her as honored by Zeus above all other gods, with dominion simultaneously in the sky, the earth, and the sea. She could grant success in war, fishing, athletics, and governance. This is not a goddess of darkness. This is a goddess of total, comprehensive power. Over centuries, her role narrowed. By the Roman period, she was a triple lunar goddess. By the medieval period, the church had demonized her, but she survived, preserved even in fear, even in the image of the witch queen of folk tradition. Today, her worship is experiencing a genuine revival, studied by scholars and practiced by devotees worldwide. Chapter 2, Mythology. When Hades abducted Persephone, it was Hecate who heard her cries. She came to Demeter with a burning torch, the first to help, the first to guide. After Persephone's partial return, Hecate became her permanent companion. She guides Persephone's descent and ascent each year. She holds the torch between the worlds. Medea, the great witch of antiquity, is described in ancient sources as a priestess of Hecate. Her power flows from Hecate. This connection establishes Hecate as the patron of those who work with herbs, with the hidden forces of nature, and with the knowledge that exists beyond ordinary sight. She also fought in the Gigantomachy, the battle between the gods and the giants, wielding her torches as weapons. She is not passive. She is not merely symbolic. She acts. Chapter 3, Symbols and Correspondences. Her most sacred symbol is the torch. She carries fire into darkness, not to burn, but to illuminate. When you light a candle at her altar, you are kindling her torch in miniature. Her second symbol is the key. She is Kleiduchos, the key bearer. She holds the keys to every locked door, the underworld, hidden knowledge, the truth you have been avoiding. Whatever is closed against you, she can open. Her sacred number is 3. Her colors are black, silver, and gold. Her most sacred time is the dark moon, the night before the new moon, when the sky is completely black. Her incense is myrrh. The Complete Grimoire covers all her correspondences in full. Every stone, metal, plant, number, color, and celestial association. Chapter 4, Epithets and Aspects. Hecate carries dozens of names, each revealing a different face of her nature. Anodia, goddess of the roads. Propylaia, she who stands before the gate. Phosphoros, light bringer. Sotira, savior. Chthoniya, of the underworld. Kurotrophos, nurse of the young. She is triple-formed, 3 faces looking down 3 roads simultaneously. She sees all directions. She sees what is past, what is present, and what is coming. The Complete Grimoire covers all her major epithets and how to work with each specific aspect for different needs. Chapter 5, Sacred Animals and Plants. Her primary sacred animal is the black dog. In ancient Greece, dogs were believed to perceive spirits invisible to humans. When dogs howled at night, people believed Hecate was passing. An unexplained howl in the night is still considered, by many practitioners, a signal worth noting. Her second animal is the serpent, associated with transformation, the underworld, and the shedding of the old self. Her most ancient plant offering is garlic, left at Crossroads in her honor since antiquity. Her most famous magical plant is mandrake, the root of witches, whose association with her goes back thousands of years. Several of her sacred plants are toxic. The Complete Grimoire covers each one with full context and necessary warnings. Chapter 6. The Sacred Crossroads. The Crossroads is her territory above all others. The ancient Greeks called her Triaditis, she of the three ways, and placed her statues at three-way crossroads, one face toward each road. The crossroads is a liminal space, a threshold. It is between here and there, between what was and what will be. It is the place where all possibilities still exist before the choice is made. This is where her power concentrates. She also rules every other liminal space, the shoreline, the cemetery, the doorway, the hour between night and dawn. Every in-between place is her domain. The Complete Grimoire contains full practical instructions for working at a physical crossroads, including the one protocol that practitioners have kept for 2,000 years. When you leave your offering, you walk away without looking back. Chapter 7. The Altar. A Hecate altar belongs near a threshold, a doorway, a window, the top of a staircase. She prefers shadow over bright light. The core items, 3 candles, a key, an image of her, a cauldron or dark bowl, and myrrh incense. She is not a deity who needs an elaborate setup to be present. She needs honesty and consistency more than decoration. The Complete Grimoire covers consecration, placement, and maintenance in full. Chapter 8. Offerings. On the last night of each lunar month, ancient Athenians left food at Crossroads for Hecate. This is called the Deipnon, her supper. The traditional offerings included eggs, garlic, honey, and bread. Modern offerings follow the same principle. Food left at Crossroads, or wine poured on the earth, or a candle burned in her name. Non-food offerings include keys, old coins, dark flowers, and acts of service, feeding stray dogs, caring for the vulnerable. Food offerings left for Hecate are not eaten by the practitioner. They belong to her entirely. The Complete Grimoire covers every category of offering and the full protocol for presenting them correctly. They start Chapter 9 and 10, Rituals and Spellwork. 2 foundational practices. The first is purification before any significant work. A bath with sea salt and cypress oil, a moment of intention, and a simple declaration. I come to the crossroads with honest hands and a true heart. The second is the dark moon ritual, performed on the night of the dark moon, when you write down what you wish to release, burn the paper, and sit in silence with her. What you name, she transforms. Her magical domain includes protection, banishing, divination, finding what is lost, navigating major life transitions, and shadow work, the confrontation with the parts of the self you have refused to see. The Complete Grimoire contains full ritual scripts for each of these areas. Chapter 11. The Deipnon. The Deipnon is the most important regular observance in Hecate's cult, practiced in Athens for centuries and still practiced today. On the last night of the lunar month, you clean your home, prepare her offerings, go to a crossroads after dark, leave the food, and walk away without looking back. The following morning, the Noumenia, the first day of the new lunar month, is a day of new beginning. The cycle is simple. Release what the dying month held. Welcome what the new one carries. The Complete Grimoire contains the full Deipnon practice step by step. Chapter 12. Dreams and Omens. Hecate communicates through dreams, particularly when invited before sleep with mugwort under the pillow, and a clear request spoken at her altar. Write down everything immediately upon waking. Fragments and feelings matter as much as a narrative. Her common signs in waking life. Dogs howling unexpectedly in the night. Finding an old key in an unexpected place. Owls appearing out of context. The smell of myrrh with no source. Candle flames that behave unusually. She is not subtle in her communications once you have learned to look. Chapter 13. Hecate in Modern Practice. Hecate is present in contemporary witchcraft, Wicca, and broader pagan practice, but she predates all of them by millennia. She does not belong exclusively to any tradition. The most resonant modern understanding of her is her connection to shadow work, the psychological and spiritual process of confronting what is repressed or denied within the self. This maps directly onto her ancient role. She holds the torch into the darkness. She does not look away from what others refuse to see. She is also a natural ally for ancestral work. As a deity of the dead and of liminal spaces, she can facilitate communication with and healing of the ancestral line. Chapter 14. Advanced Mysteries. Working with Hecate over time is initiatory, not necessarily through formal ceremony, but through the lived experience of her presence. She will strip away what is false. She will illuminate what you would rather not see. This is the gift she offers, and it costs something. In the Chaldean Oracles, a 2nd century CE philosophical magical text, enormously influential in Western esotericism, Hecate is described as the world soul, a cosmic feminine principle mediating between the divine intellect and the material world. This is not a small deity of Crossroads. This is a fundamental force of existence. The Complete Grimoire covers the deeper mysteries, including the theurgic tradition and its practices. Chapter 15. Prayers and Hymns. The Orphic hymn to Hecate is one of the oldest surviving prayers to her, written in the 2nd or 3rd century CE, and traditionally accompanied by an offering of myrrh. It names her as Lady of Night, Earth, and Sea, dog-loving, torch-bearing, she of 1,000 names. A simple modern approach. Light a black candle, light myrrh incense, speak her name, and say what is true. That is the beginning of every relationship. The Complete Grimoire contains the Orphic hymn in full, several modern invocations, prayers for protection, the dark moon, sleep, and those who are lost, and a full devotional poem. Closing, this has been a summary of the Complete Grimoire of Hecate. What has been covered here is the outline. The full text contains every detail. The complete correspondences, the full ritual scripts, every epithet explained, the toxic plants with proper guidance, the Orphic hymn, the complete Deipnon practice, the shadow work framework, the advanced mysteries, and much more. If something in this recording reached you, if her name landed somewhere in you before you fully understood why, the complete guide is available as an ebook. Hail Hecate.